So yesterday's video with the pipe divider swirls, awesome. But here's the problem. We scented it with strawberry, and I picked the most obvious color pattern ever for a strawberry scented pipe divider soap. And so Georgia was like low-key hating me when she came in and saw that I had already done the color that she was going to do. So, sorry. I'm going to tell you about Georgia May's attempt at the pipe divider swirl thing for Amy Warden Soap Challenge in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 290 of 365 days of soap, and it is Georgia May's turn to do the pipe divider swirl challenge thing. Yes, Amy Warden Soap Challenge. We've been doing it. Haven't you heard? It's a thing. And we've been going back through all the back catalogs and doing the, I'll probably have a playlist for all of them, so I don't need to explain this every time because it's already getting a little bit old. But yes, pipe dividers. You saw me do mine yesterday and it was great. You know, there's not a lot of, it's a very easy pour. My biggest issue with it is always going to be the amount of soap batter that you essentially waste. And so what Georgia May is doing today is, instead of doing like proper like PVC pipe, like you're supposed to do, or like cardboard tubes, like I did, she's actually using a slick paper that's like a photo paper that, you know, you print photos on, so it's glossy on one side, right? For the actual pipes, to see if maybe less soap is left behind in the overall. Yeah, so let's go check out her design and her vision and how she decided to color a strawberry scented soap when I took away the obvious colors, you know, now. All right, now this is Georgia May's turn at a pipe divider swirl, which, you know, I've given my opinions on the pipe dividers just in general in my video. Like, I don't like how much waste comes from when you're pulling out the divider. That's not fun for me, because you are pulling out soap that you really kind of can't put back into the mold. And so Georgia May decided to use a piece of like shiny paper, like glossy cardstock, right, to make her like pipes to do the pipe divider swirl. And so, you know, I like the idea of you pouring into the, you know, the inside of a really slick surface or whatever. Maybe less of the soap batter will stick to it. And I mean, that could be true depending on the trace and what you're working with all of this. Now, that right there, not quite emulsified yet, actually, even though it looks super thick. So she's probably soaping it kind of cool, but she's very close to an emulsion, and, you know, she does a great job with all of the things. There it is. There's your emulsion. Now, with all this, the kaolin clay goes into the bulk of the batch, which is usually what Georgia May does with all of her soaps. She puts the kaolin into the main soap batter before separating it all and coloring it. And this is dispersed in water for this, boatloads of kaolin clay, all of the jazz. And with this, because this is a strawberry scent, right? And I picked the really easy colors for mine yesterday. So I did the reds and the greens, like a strawberry patch. And so she has to do something different for hers. And I don't remember what her overall design or thought process was behind selecting the colors. And also, I don't really know if we talked about it, but she'll be using the yellow and the pink to go inside the pipes, the columns, and then this green and gold, like a copper mica, I think, to go for the main body of the soap, which is cool. So with this, though, this batter looks really great. It's a beautiful consistency for all of this. And, you know, we'll see more when she starts to mix it. Yeah, that's beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful consistency for this type of pour, because you do want to be able to swirl it. Obviously, you want their own swirls to sort of exist. Because you're kind of doing like a faux funnel or a faux column in the areas of the main body of the soap for something like this. So like a big blob of color and then another color on top of it, another blob to sort of like circles, you know? And then obviously you're pouring into the pipe divider itself, and those are literal circles, all of the things. So you do want the batter to be fluid-ish. And this is like a nice medium trace batter for this, which I think is perfect. And yeah, you can definitely skewer that. It will move on its own within the other colors and mix and mingle nicely. Just beautiful. And her color story right here actually is gorgeous just across the board. I like that a lot. I also find it interesting how often I'm saying color stories in 2021. And I really do attribute it, I think, to the amount of binge watching that I did on makeup channels over my break. Because I watched a lot of makeup challenges or channels. And they're always talking about color stories. And it's just fascinating to me. I don't wear makeup. I don't really do the whole makeup thing a whole lot. Don't know how to use it. But I like it when other people talk about it and put it on. So now I'm saying things like color story. Look at me go. Okay, so her pipes are there in the mold. And she's mixing this up. All of her scent. She just split that, you know, equally amongst all of the things. Or whatever. Or, you know, appropriately amongst all the things. And it is ready to pour, you know, right now. So let's go check out her pour and her process and all of the jazz. Okay, and onto the pour. And do you see how thick that got? She had none time. Like, she did not let this sit at all between, you know, mixing the color in and pouring. So this is the scent. This is what this scent is doing. And I do not believe that the soaping notes on this said anything about acceleration for the strawberry from Nurture Soap. So that's kind of a bummer, because I also did experience some thicker soap batter than what I really wanted yesterday too. So that's kind of a bummer. It wouldn't be the oil blend with this, because it's a pretty good swirl blend for all of this. Pretty sure. Yeah, no, totally it is. Again, something like this doesn't really matter because it's such a quick pour that the fluidity of the batter usually will stay very fluid regardless of what kind of, I mean, unless you're soaping like 100% coconut oil, in which case, why would you try to do this? You know? But so no, this is definitely just based on what that is and the thickness of the, yeah, that's the scent accelerating the oil blend. And this is a pretty stock standard oil blend, so that's interesting. So I think this is the first one out of all the nurtures, right, that we've actually experienced any sort of problems with that are, I mean, I wouldn't really call this a problem. Like, oh gosh, my soap batter got thick. That's not really an issue with most pours. It's an annoyance, but it's not really an issue. But yeah, no, that got really thick. We've got some very real separation kind of going on there. She's gonna need to start taking her spatulas to like remix everything back together before she pours from here on out. But this is the first one in the Nurture Soap test, I'm pretty sure, that said anything about, or that the soap notes didn't actually match our experience with them. And again, my soap batter is actually a little bit thick as well, so for this strawberry thing. And so that's the thing. Ultimately, also with this soap, or with this scent blend, I loved it out of bottle. Thought it was amazing. It's a very nice strawberry. It's not like a sickly sweet strawberry. It has a little bit of like a sugar kick to it that kind of mellows it out and makes it less synthetic strawberry smelling, which was delightful. But after my bars had gone through saponification, it was a little bit light. And so that'd be something to keep in mind using the scent. It doesn't have a great throw after saponification. And that's with clay soaps. Like clay soaps just in general tend to hold scent better than non-clay soaps. Just because. I mean, there's a reason for it. But that's not for this video. We talk about clay soaps all the time. That's on another video. But so that it was a little bit light was actually a bit surprising for me, because I almost never experience really light bars, a light throw with any soaps at all. And I soap for my fragrances right in like the mid usage range for all fragrances, regardless of, you know, what they are. And so, yeah, that was a little bit surprising. So we have an acceleration as well as it was a light throw, which means for me personally, I would not use it again. Just because A, you have to buy more. You have to put more into the batch, so you're actually spending more in a batch to get the scent that you want. And, you know, no. And two, the acceleration, I just don't want to deal with. So she did get everything into the mold. Very, very thick soap, all of the jazz. And what is she doing? So she's cleaning out the pipe dividers. I'm assuming so she can put them. So we have like just a mold that just exists throughout the day. All of the extra pieces that, all the little itty bits of soap that didn't make it into a mold, the final scraping out, you know, whatever, goes into this other just you know, mold. And it becomes like a Frankenbar of soap. And, you know, we use that for our mystery bars. They get sold at Scratch and Dent. And it's just another way to make sure that all of the soap batter gets used, because, you know, it's perfectly good soap. So yeah, use it. But also putting all that down, you know, a sink would not be fun at all. So I guess that's what she's probably doing right now, is cleaning off all of the stuff. So it's easier for her just to scrape it all into the mold in one fell swoop. That's cool. I like that. Her circles are interesting, for sure, with her pink and her yellows. And the soap, I feel like, stuck the same amount on this little shiny thing as it did in my cardboard tubes yesterday. And that could have a lot more to do with the thickness of the batter than anything else, but ultimately I think it's a good idea. Pour into a glossy surface, and it totally might work, which would be cool. But yeah, like this soap, I'm interested to see what she uses to skewer it all. What is she doing? Oh, she's gonna put it back on. She is going to get all of this soap into the mold. Wow, that's amazing. Holy crap, this is wild. Now, with enough banging, yeah, we've got an issue, don't we? With enough banging, you can totally make these blobs go down. It has to be a lot of banging, like for sure, with this, in order to get it to go all where it's supposed to. This is fascinating to me. Sorry, I'm like barely paying attention to what I should be talking about with everything. I'm just watching her mind getting all of this in. And okay, so I just cut out all the banging. There was a bunch of banging to make that all go down. And she's going to use a skewer instead of like a spoon handle or a paintbrush handle or whatever. And I love that. That's awesome. Very pretty. That all works out. I'm still totally geeking out over she put all that soap back into the mold, you guys. That's amazing. So this will be C-popped and gelled, and see what all these colors do in the oven overnight, and then we will cut it into all of their individual pieces, you know, in the next slide. Okay, and onto the cut. And yeah, this definitely did a gel, and nice and shiny. Colors are cool. Very textured on top. Oh, that's cool. That looks like lily pads or something, and that's gorgeous. I like that. I like the back of the bar. I didn't think to show you the back of my bar, I don't think. I don't think we saw the back of my bar. I wonder if it looked like that. I mean, it's all cut up now, so it won't be nearly as pretty as, you know, what that was. And, you know, we're about to cut it up, so not nearly as pretty as what that was. But yeah, no, I actually do like the texture on all of this. And I think for a pipe divider swirl, the texture is completely fine. It doesn't like impact the overall design of what you're going for at all. In fact, I think it can lend to it a lot, so that's great. My biggest issue with pipe dividers is this technique right here, what she just accomplished. It's beautiful. I love it. But that could have been done without the dividers. Like, you could have just put in a swirly swirl color of the green and the copper, right? And then added just, you know, poured it really high, but added just blobs of your pink and your yellow wherever you wanted, and then skewered it without, because soap, it goes in a circle anyway. Like, that's the thing. That's how it pours out. If you don't move it, it goes circular. So I don't feel like you actually need the divider. And especially not for something like this. I think it's just unnecessary. Like that whole, the last 3 minutes of Georgia May's life, scraping off all of the things and then trying to figure out how to get it back into the mold. That was unnecessary. You don't need to do that if you don't use the dividers. And so that would be my recommendation for anybody who is wanting to try the pipe divider swirl. Like, try it for sure, to say that you've done the soap challenge. That's pretty. I like that. But then just don't do it that way again. Oh, I like the back of it too. That's really beautiful. Because you don't need to. There's no reason whatsoever that the pipes are actually necessary if you are going to be swirling it. Because that right there looks like the lamination between like the pink and the yellow. Super beautiful. Also can be achieved just by pouring high with your colors, not in into a pipe. So yeah. All in all, they are beautiful bars of soap. That strawberry scent, like I said, it's a nice scent. It's a little bit light, for sure. So for that reason, I probably wouldn't reorder, because light, and it made Georgia May soap thick. And it made my soap thick too. I mean, do that. But this isn't a pour that like super duper relies on how thick your soap batter is, but it kind of does. And even if, like, as you can see, Georgia May made it work, but it took longer in order to make that a thing. So yeah, I'm not a fan of the scent blend for that reason. The bars smell nice. They perform beautifully. It's all of the cool things, but I wouldn't use it again. And I think this is the first one that I've said that about for Nurture soap. So, you know, overall they've been really great. And these bars are super beautiful. I love the different bright colors. I like how the back is like that blue and yellow. That's gorgeous all around. I love it. That's a nice win. And again, the texture on top, super cool too, because I got texture on mine too. So there they are together. Very cute, both of them. And that is day 290, the Soaprentice's attempt at her pipe divider swirl thing. I mean, my hat goes off to Georgia May for managing to get so much soap back into that mold. But ultimately, she found the pipe dividers very annoying too, for that same reason. It's a lot of waste of product, for sure, especially since it's something that can actually be done without the pipe dividers. You don't need to do that. You can totally just put random colors of your main colors into your slab and then just dump kind of high your big blobs of colors wherever you want them for your, you know, accent color, and then swirl them around, and you're not wasting any soap batter. So you can totally do it that way too, but we did it the Amy Warden soap challenge way, and there you have it. Those are two lovely strawberry scented bars. The Nurture soap strawberry, that's actually delicious. It was good. That was a very lovely scent blend for sure, and I thought I loved it after mine. And I mean, I still do love it, but it is a little bit light. So if you are a soaper and interested in a strawberry blend, this is definitely a good one, but you're going to have to increase the percentages at which you soap it if you want it to really have that nice strawberry kick after saponification. So there's that. If you're interested in purchasing these strawberry dancing pipe funnel soap things, you can totally find them on the website at soapandclay.com. If you're interested in seeing what other Amy Warden soap challenges we tackle, subscribe to the channel. That would be cool. For those of you who are subscribed, hey Sudzer, welcome back. I'm glad that you joined me for another round of 365 days of soap. That is it for me today. I will see you guys all again tomorrow for another round of fun. Bye.